it would be if the judge needs to see so far to actually call what's happening. This is an issue of safety in terms of how the horses and the jockeys are able to navigate and manage their way around the track. It's a different issue to the normal circumstances that we might be questioning and dealing with.
Absolutely. The last time this happened, when I was involved, I was at a meeting. It was similar to this. They had a debate, and you know what? The paramedics came in and said, we're not happy, it's not safe. We're driving around, we don't know where we are, we can't see anything. If there's a fall, a jockey could be left stranded and we might not get to him for 10 minutes because we can't find him.
It looks like it's lying lower now, doesn't it? And that camera angle there gives you a more acute sense of how deep and thick and low the level of fog is. So those are really good shots, actually. I think now, from home and from the studio, you've probably got more of a sense of why it is that they're looking into that. I think those are really, really acute and accurate shots compared to that. You can see how low it is lying, though. It's almost down by those fences, isn't it?
Yeah, that previous camera angle was more on ground level, and that gives you a better idea of how it is.
And look at that. Franny was saying they couldn't see the flagman from the stalls, and you can see why from that shot. And yet on the bend, it's fine. So they've got the significant decision to make, and that is ongoing on the back of Chelmsford, of course, that last evening, and a spate of abandonments. Difficult times for the sport. And that courtesy, I'm afraid, of the weather. I think we might just have got... There we are. Jess, I thought you'd be inside getting warm by now, but you're on the spot trying to find out the latest news.
I am, absolutely, and you were talking about being able to know a bit more by being sort of on pitch side, essentially, on track side, and seeing how bad the fog is. And as the minutes go past, it is getting a lot worse visually. One of the gentlemen I've just seen, who was part of the inspection, said to me at 3 o'clock it was a crystal clear evening, but as it got darker, as the frost really began to materialise, as the temperatures have actually just dropped below minus, it's just got that much more misty, and I get the impression that it is a slightly divided camp. Some people are coming out to say that they are riding, and some are racing on. Some are saying that they're not. So I'm not entirely sure as it stands. All the officials have gone back in with some of the senior jockeys to discuss what is happening. I think that there's a sense, as you were both saying in the studio, that we want to race as much as we can do, but it is visually where you can and can't see parts of the track, it could be dangerous. But from where I'm standing at the moment, I'm not entirely sure exactly what the official comment is. And all I know is that the stewards have gone in to discuss it, and it's clearly not an easy decision to make as it stands. But all I can imagine is that it's just going to get worse as it gets later and as it gets colder, because it is to do with the mist, which is extremely poor vision out there, and it's all I can think is that it's just going to get a lot worse. So as I get updates, I will let you know. I'm just waiting at the door patiently to get the official comment, and hopefully Barney Clifford will come out and join me and we can discuss it. So as I'm hearing from the door, 50-50, and that's all I can tell you at the moment.
Jess, one bit of advice for you. Just over your left shoulder, there's a big warm glow the other side of that window. Now, if you could just get yourself inside there, you might be all right.
I do have a hot water bottle back at base camp at my position, but I've moved over to try and get the information for you guys, and that's my dedication to give the best up-to-date news as we can.
Thanks very much to Jess. We'll bring you that news as